So the new Days of Our Lives preview video for the week of August 24 to 28 just dropped. And wow, just wow. It reveals that Alex and Stephanie might actually be getting a divorce this week. Yes, this week. Way, way sooner than any of us expected. I mean, we all knew this marriage was a ticking time bomb. We all saw the writing on the wall. But I honestly thought the writers were going to drag this out until the November sweeps. You know how they usually do. They drag and drag and drag until we are all begging for it to end. But nope, the preview shows the whole thing crashing down right now. And it is a lot to process. In the promo, we see Stephanie fighting with Alex again. And it is not just a little disagreement. It is one of those deep, exhausting, soul-crushing fights. She looks at him and she warns him. She literally says that they cannot keep going on like this. And you can just see the absolute exhaustion in her eyes. She is so done. She is just so done. And Alex, he just looks at her with this confused, deer in the headlights expression. Like he has no idea how they got here, which is crazy. How does he not know? But he looks at her, and that is when it happens. That is when it gets real. He asks her if she is saying that she wants to end their marriage. He actually puts the words out there. Divorce, ending it, done. Honestly, what were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? Let's be real here. You guys know I've been saying this for months. This relationship has been toxic and broken for a long time. But seeing it actually happen on screen, seeing them finally hit that absolute breaking point, it is still kind of shocking. It just feels so sudden, even though it has been building up forever. Let's just zoom out and talk about the bigger pattern here for a second. Because this is so typical for the show's usual style, they put a couple together, they make them rush into a commitment, and then they throw the most insane traumatic obstacles at them until they break. And Stephanie has been through so much trauma. So much. Think about it. Just a few months ago, she was kidnapped by Owen Kent. She was held captive. She was terrified for her life. And she never really got the help she needed for that severe PTSD. She has been walking around Salem like a raw nerve. And Alex, bless his heart, he tried to be supportive at first, but he is just not equipped to handle that kind of deep psychological trauma. He just isn't. He says the wrong things. He smothers her. He makes it about him. And then, right when she is at her most vulnerable, boom, Joy Wesley shows up. Joy comes back to town with a baby that belongs to Alex, baby Kelsey. The timing could not have been worse. It was the absolute worst possible moment for a baby bomb to drop on this marriage. Stephanie was already struggling to keep her head above water, and suddenly she is supposed to be this happy, supportive stepmother to a child that her husband had with his ex. And we have to talk about the gun incident, because that was the real turning point. That was when I knew there was no coming back from this. A few episodes ago, Stephanie was sleeping on the couch. She was exhausted. She was traumatized. And Joy just walks into the apartment using a spare key that Alex gave her. Which, by the way, why did Alex give her a key? So stupid. But Joy walks in, and Stephanie wakes up groggy and terrified. Her PTSD kicks in. She thinks she is being attacked again. And she grabs that loaded gun that Steve gave her, and she fires it. She actually fired a loaded gun at Joy Wesley. Thank God the bullet missed. Thank God nobody was hurt. But it was a massive, massive mistake. And Stephanie knew it. She was horrified by her own actions. She threw all the gun safety rules out the window. But Joy did not waste a single second using that incident to her advantage. Joy weaponized that shooting so fast it made my head spin. She immediately pointed out that baby Kelsey could have been killed, and she used that to demand that Stephanie be completely banned from the baby's life. And what did Alex do? What did the loving husband do? He agreed with Joy. He took Joy's side. He agreed to ban his own wife from his child's life just to keep Joy from pressing attempted murder charge. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Alex. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. He was in an impossible situation. He didn't want his wife to go to jail, but the way he handled it was just so incredibly isolating for Stephanie. He basically told her that she was a danger, and he pushed her away. And Stephanie, because she was so drowning in guilt, she agreed. She agreed she was a danger. She cried to her mom, Kayla. She sobbed about how much she hated Joy having Alex all to herself, but she couldn't do anything about it. And then it just got worse. Last week we saw Alex actually suggest that he should move into the Brady pub. He wanted to move into the pub to be closer to Joy and Kelsey, since they are living in that cramped little room upstairs. I mean, are you kidding me? You are going to leave your traumatized wife alone in your apartment so you can go play happy family with your baby mama? Stephanie fiercely shut that down. She absolutely snapped. And who can blame her? She felt completely abandoned. She felt like Alex was prioritizing his child and his ex over their marriage. And she was right. He was. So Stephanie packed a bag and she ran. She sought comfort and a safe haven at Jada's apartment because Jada is the only one who actually understands what she is going through right now. Jada is investigating the shooting, sure, but she is also being a real friend to Stephanie. So now we are here the week of August 24, and they are face to face having this massive fight. Stephanie saying they can't go on like this because they literally can't. She is living at Jada's. He is obsessed with Kelsey. Joy is pulling the strings. The marriage is already over in everything but name. And we have to talk about Alex's psychology for a second, because it explains so much of this mess. Alex has massive mommy issues. We all know this. He was abandoned by his biological mother, Angelica Devereaux. That trauma has defined his entire life. It gave him this massive savior complex. So when he found out he had a daughter, his brain just short-circuited. He became absolutely terrified of being an absent parent. He is so obsessed with not abandoning Kelsey that he is completely willing to abandon his wife. He just cannot see clearly when it comes to that baby. But Joy, let's talk about Joy. The fans on social media have been tearing her apart, and honestly, I am right there with them. She is manipulative. She is calculating. She knew exactly what she was doing when she came back to Salem. She faked that medical emergency at the hospital to get Alex to pay for the vaccinations. She complained about the cramped room at the pub to make him feel guilty. She is using that baby as a weapon to drain Alex's bank account and destroy his marriage. Sometimes I think maybe she just wants what is best for her kid. But no, I changed my mind. She is definitely a gold digger. Philip Kiriakis called it weeks ago. She is looking for a payday and a free ride on the Kiriakis fortune. And Alex is just handing it to her on a silver platter. So when Stephanie looks at Alex this week and says they can't go on, she is finally choosing herself. She is finally setting a boundary. She cannot live in a marriage where she is the villain, where she is banned from her husband's life, where she is constantly triggered and isolated. And Alex asking for the divorce, it is almost like a relief. It is like he is finally giving her the out she desperately needs, because he knows he can't give her what she needs right now. He is too focused on Joy and Kelsey. I just wonder how the actual divorce is going to play out. Are they going to fight over assets? Probably not. Stephanie isn't like that. I think it is going to be a really sad, really tragic end to a couple that just could not survive the trauma thrown at them. The writers really piled it on. The kidnapping, the PTSD, the secret baby, the accidental shooting, the manipulation. It was just too much. And what happens next? Does Stephanie stay with Jada? I think she needs a safe space away from the Kiriakis mansion and the DiMera drama and all the toxic men in this town. She needs to focus on her mental health. Maybe she needs to leave Salem for a bit. Go visit Joey or something. Just get away from Alex and Joy's smug face. As for Alex, he is going to fall right into Joy's trap. Once the divorce is finalized, or even before, Joy's going to swoop in. She is going to play the supportive mother. She is going to convince him that they belong together for Kelsey's sake. And Alex is going to fall for it because he is desperate for a family. It is a disaster waiting to happen, and I am honestly exhausted just thinking about it. But that is Salem for you. Just when you think things might settle down, they drop a divorce bomb on a Monday promo. We will have to watch and see how the actual scene plays out. Will Stephanie sign the papers immediately? Will Alex regret asking for it? Who knows? But one thing is for sure, this marriage is done. Stick a fork in it. It's over. And honestly, it's probably for the best.